Years ago, when I first found out about managed care, I was working at Children's Hospital in North Jersey. It was about maybe 19, 20 miles from Manhattan. And I had gone to school with the CEO, even though we weren't really personal friends, we knew each other. And he said they were going to manage care. And I said, what does that mean? He said, it's the new trend today. He said, they have a company that manages your care and tries to reduce the costs. And I felt that it built another bureaucracy, another middleman, and they want to make profit. So initially they did do this, and the HMOs came out. And what happened was you'd go to your family doctor, and they would give you a referral or control what specialists or what your needs were. And it became a thing at the time where if a doctor didn't do a lot of referrals or he limited the referrals, he got kind of a kickback. And if the doctor would have prescribed certain medicines, the pharmaceutical techs would give them like free golf balls. So I spoke to a tech one day and I said to him, you actually give them golf balls? Oh, all the time, he said. If they prescribe enough of our pharmaceutical stuff, they get vacations. I said, you mean they get free vacations? So when I went to a doctor, and this was about 20 years ago, they put me on a certain medicine like Synthroid, Lipid, or whatever. The receptionist would say, "Oh, are you the one that they put the medicine on that medicine? What's your name? I'll put you in the book." And I said, "What's the book for?" "Oh, whenever we put somebody on the medicine, we put them in the book." And apparently, they were getting a kickback for prescribing certain medicines. Well, I hope this doesn't continue today. Right now, a lot of the private practices, at least in South Jersey where I live right now, they're buying up all the private practices and they're becoming hospital or medical center owned practices. And I think some of this stuff about the kickbacks and the vacations have really dwindled with the hospital-owned medical facilities. But today, the whole medical situation has changed. You used to be able to go to your family doctor, and within a day or two, you can see them. And there's a shortage of family practice physicians. And now it takes 3-4 weeks before you can get an appointment. If you get sick, you have one of two choices. You either go to an ER, an emergency room, or right now they've started these new things, which is like urgent care, patient first, minute clinic, walk in and out medical facility, whatever they give the name to. And different hospitals have established these things where if somebody gets sick, you go to these walk-in clinics, as I call them, and they're good. They're very good. You can't see your family doctor. It takes several weeks. If you have an emergency, they tell you to go to the emergency room. But an emergency room today, the bill is thousands of dollars, two or more $1,000. By the time you go in there and they give you a test and the doctor sees you and so forth. So now the intermediate thing is to go to these walk-in clinics where they see you and either a nurse practitioner or an MD sees you, and they prescribe medicine. They could take an X-ray or whatever. But if you have a super emergency like a heart attack, stroke, you have to go to the hospital and you have to go to the ER, and they'll triage you. You may be admitted into the hospital. But the immediate thing that you can do nowadays, which I believe is a very good thing, is you can go to the walk-in clinics, and some of them are open 24 hours, some of them just have long hours, and they're open holidays too, so you're not forced to really go to an ER, which is much more expensive. For $100 or $200, you're seeing a doctor, and you're getting analyzed and diagnosed, and they'll electronically put in a prescription to your local pharmaceutical, and you'll go there and you'll get the medicine that they prescribe. And I think that's a real good thing. But this is the way medicine's going. You don't go to your family doctor if you have an emergency. You go to either walk-in clinic or the ER, and hopefully the walk-in clinic, because it's a lot quicker and less trouble and less expensive. And most of the time, probably 95% of the time, it would take care of your problems. But if the problem's too deep, you have to go to the ER, and they may admit you as an inpatient. I remember years ago with the old HMO systems, I was in a town called Medford, New Jersey, and I had medical insurance. I was working for a security outfit, which required, at a naval base, I was naval security at the time, that they give us, even though I was an outside contractor, that they give us insurance. And I went to the doctor, and this was under the old HMO thing, and there was one main doctor that owned a practice, and I was seeing one of the other doctors, and he said, "Oh, I think you should get a CAT scan or whatever." And he said, "Let me find out." And the main doctor wouldn't approve me getting a CAT scan. Like I said, they got kickbacks by not prescribing things to certain people. And 2 minutes later, I heard the main doctor say to somebody, "Schedule the minister," it was the town minister, for an MRI or whatever it was. So I guess this religious leader had more rights to medical care than I did. So, this is the story. It's like the political scene in the United States. Not everybody's equal, apparently. But the new system of the walk-in clinics, and as opposed to the ER, I think is a very good system. It's good innovation. And hopefully, I hope that the government straightens out the medical situation, that there aren't any people that don't get care. That's a travesty. I once saw a movie, it was a foreign country, and if you didn't have money, they put you out by the garbage. And I hope that we have a more compassionate country than to treat people like garbage.